Hey, this is Notser, and this is the user replay of the week. Light Trooper is in the Tier 10 German cruiser Hindenburg on the map Tears of the Desert. Now, this is one of those games where you're not particularly sure who is going to win and who is going to lose until the very last moment. And that, of course, is that's the gold standard for replays. It is probably the most enjoyable for me because I know that no matter what I say or what I do, I'm not giving away who's going to win or who's going to lose, and this is no exception. This is a very close match. So, if you have a replay you would like to submit, please submit it to notserreplay@gmail.com. Please have the replay file, in-score screenshots, 1 to 2 sentence summary, and please include the ship name in the title of the email. I really appreciate all the enthusiasm. I do take a moment to check out, hey, is it a close game? Is it a blowout? Are the stats real? Check out the replay. I do all of these things. I'm trying to find games where people want to sit there and watch the entire time and see something they've never seen before. That's the goal. It's very rare, maybe one game in 50, for me to have it down to the absolute wire, and I get those constantly from the replay. So I appreciate all the support. Hopefully you enjoy this. If you don't, if you have a great replay and you say, yeah, it's better, I can share something better, then please do. I really appreciate anyone and everyone who submits replays to my channel. So, Light Trooper, it's a very easy name. Now, where does it come from? Is it stormtroopers? Is it something historical in nature? I mean, what is a light trooper? Is it a trooper that's not carrying the normal load? Either way, Light Trooper is headed over for A point, and he's going to use HE right off the bat. Now, some of you might question, oh, it's a German cruiser, all you fire is AP. Well, they buffed HE a couple patches ago, and he does indeed get rewarded for it. He sets the target on fire. Now, is the target going to allow himself to burn? Well, this is 2 fires. He has to put it out, right? Yeah, he absolutely puts it out. But that's a big deal. He's already done 10,000, and he's going to do another 2,000. He is stationary, though, backing up. Not particularly the smartest strategy, I would say. And the Iowa, who's the Iowa firing at? Iowa should be firing at nobody. He's going after the guy right next to him? Really? There's an enemy Hindenburg. He sets the Iowa on fire. Really? Really? Is he running Demolition Expert? He sets another fire. What is the deal with this guy? This has got to be one of the luckiest starts I've ever seen. 4 fires in less than maybe 45 seconds. That's unheard of. Now, he could swap back. Yes, he does. He notices the Izimo is a particular target. The Iowa has also put the fire out. And, of course, the enemy cruisers, they put it out. There's no reason to not. As a cruiser, you will suffer a ton of damage if you allow it to burn. But on those big battleships, you could fire and set fires for a pretty significant amount. And he does. Wow. What is this luck? 5 fires already. And this one could be the 6th one, and nope, good. The game isn't completely biased. I hate you, game. All I want are fires. Every day, all day. He's taking significant damage, though. He needs to be careful, and he's not doing any damage. The Iowa is moving away rapidly. It's a pretty even fight, I would say. This is about, what, 4 versus 5? You really can't get much better over here. Most of his team is bogged down in the center. They're dealing with torpedo boats. The affectionate name I give for destroyers, of course. And I know there are real torpedo boats. I know, I'm fully aware. I just like the idea that they're just torpedo boats. And he's going to continue to fire on the Iowa. Remember, the Iowa had to burn for the full duration. He had used damage control previously. And now the fire's not there anymore. Most likely it went out on its own. But it could be an aggressive use of damage control once again with premium damage control. And he's got to maintain good angling. For whatever reason, they're just not hitting these shots. I mean, it's only 15,000. It's only 15 kilometers away. 15,000. Good luck hitting that shot, right? But 15 kilometers away, it's not too bad. He has a friendly Izumo doing a somewhat bow on, as Izumos should do in most cases. Doesn't want to move forward too fast, right? Use the island as an advantage. Pretty straightforward strategy. But he's looking for that other fire. So far, it's cooled off a little bit. He's only done 50,000 points of damage. Now, an enemy Hindenburg is a potential broadside. Perfect for AP. But you notice he fired his guns and he did not swap, so maybe his intent was to get the back guns, or I guess the front guns in this case, fully rotated before he commits to changing ammo. He doesn't hit the enemy Hindenburg. Instead, he continues with HE on a very angled target, and the Iowa's moving towards him at a fair pace. I mean, it is an Iowa, right? It's not a slow battleship. In fact, it is the fastest battleship in the game. So you have to be prepared to compensate much more than you would for an average speed battleship. And he's just missing. He is not compensating for the speed of the ship. And did they lose? Yes, they did. They lose the friendly Izumo, and this is really bad. Luckily, Light Trooper is very neutral. It's going to be a very hard shot. He sets the Iowa on fire. I believe that's 2 fires. Someone else set him on fire. And he puts it out. We know damage control has just been used. We know he will be immune for maybe 10 seconds more. But then fires should definitely stick and do damage. It's just whether he gets a fire. He gets 5 fires in the first 4 minutes, and the next 4 minutes he gets only 1. And it's not like he's not firing his guns. It's just the way the dice roll goes, right? There we go. He gets 2 fires on a target that is susceptible, so he's going to burn for a significant amount. Can he get a 3rd fire? That would really put a nail in this guy's coffin. Nope. No. He's just going to continue to barrage the Iowa. The friendlies have successfully taken B. Unfortunately, the enemies are now dominant around A, and they will be able to successfully capture it once the friendly destroyer is defeated over by A. It looks like he gets the clue, though. He's trying to run away. The Iowa has, maybe 15, 20 seconds more of the fire, and then it will go out on its own. Light Trooper swaps to AP, broadside target. It's great. And now he's got to cover up 7,000. All right, now he only has to do 3,000, and he'll get the kill on the target. It's pretty surprising how much AP honestly does, and he does take the target out. Earns Arsonist. Interesting. That is a significant medal for how early the game is. I mean, that was his first kill. The target was just in the worst case scenario. Now, Hindenburg, Light Trooper, uses the scout plane. Interestingly, it allows him to engage targets over an island and fairly far away. So he's unloading his HE, trying to set a target on fire. Does he have range on the Izumo? Yeah, he actually does. He actually does. You can see the shells hitting the target without confirming it. And he decides, I'm going to fire on the Izumo. Obviously, it's the only target I can see. Not really getting an aim bonus. And the enemy North Carolina shows up. He's going to take fire. He needs to angle as best as he can. And he sets the Izumo on fire. Who puts it out right away? What is the deal with battleships putting out a single fire? It's one thing if you know you're moving outside of the range, or there's an island that's going to be in the way. It's quite different when you are obviously still detected, and there is a potential that the fire will be relit, and ultimately lead to your downfall. There's an enemy Fletcher pretty close, 15 kilometers. He could decide to try and fire on him, and he is going to try. So the game right now is pretty close. Oh, he sets a target on fire. That's the Izumo, right? That's the Izumo. We'll check. Top right corner. It is burning. If these enemy battleships would have played it differently, they might have had more success. But because they were so aggressive with putting out the fire, they're being punished for that aggressive use of the ability. I was about to say spell because I'm also playing World of Warcraft a lot, but the ability, you really should only use it if you know you're not going to take damage for 20-30 seconds, then you can sort of cheat it and have that immunity built in. But if you use it out in the open, where the enemy can still engage you, that's an awful risk to take extra damage. Now, the Ismo has put it out, I believe. The damage is no longer ticking. The teams have dropped significantly, 5 versus 5. It's still very close. There's no pressure, right? There's 8 minutes left in the match. Don't play stupid, right? Let's not throw away this. It's not a lead, but it's a very close game. We know there's an enemy somewhere over by B, right? It's a diamond. That means someone is trying to capture it, and it's a Fletcher. It's a long-range shot, but I think Light Cruiser could possibly hit it, and he lets it fly. Now, this does detect him, and the enemy battleships will be aware, and it's good. Like Light Trooper. Did I say Light Cruiser? Light Trooper is aware of it. He immediately goes over to that area, expecting the shot incoming, and here comes the shot. The only reason these guys would show up is if they fire their gun. We know that's exactly what they did. So, you gotta be ready. Now, he sort of sails through his binoculars, but if you look in the top, or in the bottom left corner, you will see that he's very neutral and sailing away. Now, he sets a guy on fire. Now, with the extended detectability, he still doesn't see the North Carolina. Neither does the friendly destroyers in the center. They must be using smoke. They would absolutely... Okay, well, he's going to see him now. Absolutely see him. And again, the North Carolina puts the single fire out. Can Light Trooper punish this play? Tickle my lulls. First shot, of course, sets the target on fire. If he gets another one, then this is the worst case scenario for the North Carolina. Because it is objectively the worst play by the North Carolina to put out the single fire and have 2 fires on his ship. And it is, again, this is textbook punishment. And there's nobody else but those players who have to reconsider their ability choices. You just don't do it as aggressively as these guys are doing now. His team has lost the friendly destroyer in the center. He earns Witherer already. And he's firing the AP on the Hindenburg, and he's landing some big citadels. He also fires on the enemy Zhao. Again, showing a side. Maybe he needs to elevate the gun slightly. They lose another friendly. Now it's only 3. A battleship, a cruiser, and a destroyer. And the Zhao just barely angles where a lot of shells ricochet. 5 shells ricochet off of the Zhao. He switches aggressively to HE, so maybe Light Trooper, he leans towards using HE until it's an obvious AP scenario. He does swap right back. He's going after Hindenburg. He takes out the enemy Zhao. He earns high caliber. And maybe he can take out the Hindenburg. Maybe this is double strike right here. It looked like he elevated the gun pretty well, and yes, indeed. Oh, did he miss out? That must have been a second off of the double strike. It was so close. That was good tactical awareness to take out both targets and use the right ammo in the right scenario. If he used HE, and he's aggressively swapping back to HE. He feels like he's going to have to engage another battleship. Maybe these battleships will learn. Let's not put out a single fire. Probably not. I mean, hello. It's only been the case, 5 out of 5 times that the player was punished when they used damage control aggressively. Yeah, it's not the best thing to do. But Light Trooper has to make a play. You know, there's a destroyer that was fairly low. He's going to lose the Bismarck. Well, no, he actually survives that torpedo strike. Okay, he's still alive. He is flooding, though. Unfortunately, he needs a fire on the enemy battleship right now. Tickle my lulls. You need to take some fire damage. And, oh, is he stopping or coming to a halt and moving forward? The Bismarck, I think he's dead. He's still bleeding out from the flood. A blind shot. Yep, the Bismarck is dead. It dies to a shot from the Izumo. Okay, blind shot on the Fletcher. Blind shot on the Fletcher. Not enough. Fletcher is not hit by Light Trooper shell. There's a friendly Fubuki in the area, and hopefully the Fubuki tries to land a torpedo. It looks like he's actually spotted, and he's taking a salvo away from the Hindenburg. which is good and bad. Oh man, you can't pass this up. The Fletcher. How often is the Fletcher going to be this close? Come on, hit the shot, Light Trooper. Hit the shot. He's all on his own. He almost was available for the Solo Warrior, but there's still 3 enemies. It's still not easy, but he should be able to take out the Fletcher, and he does. Good. Cool guys, they don't look at explosions. This is what Light Trooper does. He fires, he knows he hits the shot, and he moves on. Now, of the 2, the North Carolina is obviously the target you want to go after. It's got to be as neutral as possible, though. Hope these guys miss their shots, because they would just ruin his day. Now remember, the German cruiser has some pretty significant torpedoes. And this full broadside, oh, it's so juicy. He's got to wait for the husk of the ship. Now he sends behind. Maybe he expects him to slow down. But while he's doing it, his AP is doing work. Just look at the damage. And every single ship in the game can do this much damage against a broadside battleship with AP. The smallest caliber to the largest caliber. It's a flat surface. You're going to have some penetration. He melts him. He earns Kraken Unleashed. 1 more to go. And while all this was going on, they were able to capture B. They will win the game if the Izumo doesn't play correctly. Now, the Izumo has a huge health advantage, a huge damage advantage. All he has to do is play it smart. All he has to do is hit his shots. Now, every single time the enemy is firing, Light Trooper is angling as best as he can. Just pay attention to the icon in the bottom left corner. He's got HE loaded, which is the appropriate ammo for an angled target. You notice there were a lot of ricochets. He wasn't doing as much damage as he would have liked. Now look at how the guns are situated. The Izumo does not like moving away from a ship. It really would prefer to move towards or at the side. And every time it goes side, it's an easy shot. Ooh, Light Trooper takes a big shot. His heal is up in 20 seconds. But he's pretty low right now, and he decides, you know what, I don't need to be in the area. I'm going to move away. The team has an advantage. But I dare say that at this rate, someone's going to die before the game ends. Now, someone on his team, stop shooting! Well, ooh, 4,000. He loses one of his front guns, interestingly. But stop shooting doesn't help. There's no way this Hindenburg has the concealment to avoid being seen. Maybe he does now, if he continues to move away, but that's highly unlikely that everyone plays the game like I do, which is full concealment all the time. I love concealment. So there's really no way to stop firing and protect yourself unless, of course, you know exactly what it is. And for the Germans, it's probably about 11.8, 212, sorry. If he had concealment build, he's right at that edge, right? It's right on the edge. He is able to use his heal. He doesn't have any more left. He has 15,000. The Izumo is going to lose this game unless he's reckless. I think he has to move forward aggressively, keep all 3 guns on target, and take him out. He's got, what, 2 more salvos in him? I just don't think he's going to do it. I think he was too passive in the moment where he needed to be aggressive. He fires again. 1 more shot. Ooh, 8,000. Oh, man, this could be close. This could be close. The Izumo is also very low. This is really close. Anybody's game. I think the Izumo has a better chance of killing him, of course, but I still think anyone's game. It's getting real close. 4 seconds left, Izumo. I don't think it's possible. I don't think he has enough time. Yep, the shells are still in flight. Oh, man. It was close. It was close. So, Light Trooper. I would say this is a satisfactory game. Earning Arsonist, Witherer, and some you've got male icon. I don't recognize that. He also earns Kraken Unleashed, High Caliber. 5 kills, 22 fires, 291,000 points of damage done, over 630,000 credits earned. Just a fantastic game. And I know you did a great job. I just don't understand why battleship captains continue to make this simple mistake of putting out a single fire and then burning for two for a significant time. I just don't understand that thought process. Light Trooper earns 3,305 base XP. The Fubuki does a great job. The Bismarck did a great job. The Izumo did a good job for his team, other than being a little bit too passive. He was afraid, clearly, of the Hindenburg. He needed to kill the guy in order to win the game for his team, and he just didn't play that way. And once Light Trooper recognized that, he just went neutral and gave ground. It's harder and harder and harder for a ship to hit a target and to do significant damage at long range. As far as damage is concerned, Light Trooper did 126,000 in HE, 64,000 in AP, 100,000, yes, 100,000 in fire damage alone. There are a lot of battleships that have a lot to answer for. That is unacceptable. How much damage you allowed Light Trooper to do to your ship. You just played it incorrectly. Just absolutely incorrectly, guys. You can't aggressively put out fire and expect that to be the right solution. Clearly, it's not with 100,000 in fires alone. But Light Trooper played it exactly as you need to play it. He used HE in the right moments. He used AP in the right moments. He did a very good job for his team. He gave his team a chance, not only a chance, but he won the game for his team. Quite literally, because he's the only person alive, Notser. I know this, and I'm just expressing it. As far as the credits are concerned, oh boy, a lot of profit. It cost $250,000 to pull it. He made back $381. If he was non-premium, he would make back $171,000. And just look at his commander. His commander is max rank. There's only one rank to go. He's 18, I believe. And it'll take him until the end of time to get that rank. But apparently, he really enjoys his German commanders and probably the Hindenburg. I don't blame him. It's a really fun ship. The only problem is, of course, the economy. And who cares about economy when you carry that hard? I really appreciate it, Light Trooper, that you shared this with us. I hope everyone enjoyed seeing Light Trooper carry in the Hindenburg. You don't need to just fire AP Notser. You can fire some HE and let the battleships make all the mistakes in the game. And do 100,000, apparently. I really enjoyed seeing you almost hit 300,000. Very close. There are some candidates that I have seen over the couple of months and years that I've done this where we had 300,000, and I'll try and dig those up and share them. Either way, I really enjoyed this. I hope you enjoyed it as well. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you next time.